Mr. Speaker, first, I want to put on record that the tax refund amount is not part of total revenue. It is always treated as negative revenue in the fiscal. Mr. Speaker, the tax refund amount of 6% has always been treated as a negative revenue. So the revenue that has always been reported excludes that 6%. Mr. Speaker, number two, in the past, the amount accrued into the tax refund account has been misappropriated. Misappropriated in the sense that the Revenue Administration Act is so clear as to what you can use the tax refund account money for. So, Speaker, by failing to spend, and the Speaker, most importantly, by sticking to the law alone, what you have done is that you have saved the taxpayer some money. So, Mr. Speaker, I don't understand what the former Minister of Finance is trying to say. Mr. Speaker, definition of savings, savings is savings. We do not have different definitions for savings. If in the past, monies that were supposed to be used for tax refund purposes was, for some reason, used to pay for certain contractors, and another government decide not to use the money to pay a particular contractor, and you don't call this savings, then what it is? So, Speaker, what it is? The difference is that we have decided as a government not to spend the money on things that has not been appropriated. We have decided to spend the money for the purposes of tax refund. And so, Mr. Speaker, we have made money available, additional money available for appropriations. And so, if he doesn't understand that this is savings, Mr. Speaker, I don't know the definition of savings. Mr. Speaker, we have made savings from abuse. We have stopped the bleeding. That's what we have done. And that is savings. And if you want us to go on that road, we'll go on that road to define what savings are. Mr. Speaker, in the past, some of these resources was used to pay for services that we do not have contract for. For services that we do not have contract for. Going forward, we are saying we are not spending on that. And so going forward, that expenditure that we have cancelled, we have saved it. That is savings. That is savings. That is the definition of savings. And so for me to put it in proper context, for you to understand, that is savings. So if you don't understand that is savings, it's up to you. But we have made savings. Going forward, we will not use the taxpayers' money for these purposes. Simple.
Honourable members, the second reading of the bill has been duly considered under Standing Order 167. And at the conclusion of the debate, the question is, as many as are in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Those against, say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted.
An act to repeal the Electronic Transfer Levy Act 2022, Act 1075, and the Electronic Transfer Levy Amendment Act 2022, Act 1089, and to provide for related matters.
Honourable members, the Electronic Transfer Levy Repeal Bill 2025 accordingly read a second time. Honourable members, though there are no advertised amendments, in line with the principle of the Supreme Court in Ajumako versus Attorney General, we shall take the bill clause by clause. Clause 1.
Act 1079 and Act 1089 repealed.
Yes, Honourable Member.
Mr. Speaker, the bill is being abolished. So I'm not too sure why.
Honourable Brana Champon, please address the chair.
Okay, we are throwing the whole thing out. You still have to go through.
Honourable members, clause 1 under consideration. Any amendment? Honourable members, there be no amendment to clause 1 of the bill. It is ordered to be part of the bill. Clause 2.
Savings.
Honourable members, Clause 2 of the bill is under consideration. Honourable members, there be no advertised amendment or proposed amendment by this House. It is hereby ordered that Clause 2 stand part of the bill. Yeah, same is with Clause 1. The long title. Honourable members, the long title.
An act to repeal the Electronic Transfer Levy Act 2022, Act 1075, and the Electronic Transfer Levy Amendment Act 2022, Act 1089, and to provide for related matters.
Honourable members, we've come to the end of consideration. Honourable members, as many as are in favour of as many as are in favour of the long title of the bill, say aye. Those against, say no. The long title is ordered to be part of the bill. Honourable members, we've come to the end of consideration of the bill. Honourable Majority Leader, any indication?
Yes, right, Honourable Speaker, let's take item 49, which is a procedural motion as well.
Item numbered 49 at page 12 of today's order paper. Motion.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that item as advertised.
Mr. Speaker, I think you need to announce to the Minority Chief Whip that the Finance Minister is in the chamber to repeal the E-Levy.
Majority Leader is inviting me to a party I'm not interested in. We have seen him. This is what he should be doing. I hope he will sit throughout the day.
Yes, Finance Minister.
Right, Honourable Speaker. I beg to move that item advertised in today's order paper, page 12, as item 49, be now moved. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, a motion numbered 49 accordingly moved. Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Honourable members, this is a procedural motion. The question, therefore, is as many as are in favour of the motion say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The motion is accordingly adopted. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Member.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have just considered a bill, but just for your direction and guidance, the bill which we just considered was not provided to members. Even on we only have reports. We only have the report of the committee. But when you were reading the clauses, we could not follow because we have not been served with copies of that bill. Now I'm just asking for your direction and
Honourable Member, the reports are even on the console.
I agree, the reports are there, but when you were reading
this bill has been distributed long ago.
No, it's not been distributed.
Honourable members, after laying of the bill, it is ordered that copies be distributed to members. Honourable members, we should be interested. Anytime at all a bill or a report is laid, there will be an order that copies be distributed to members. Sometimes I'm a culprit. They distribute it by placing it in our pigeonholes.
Mr. Speaker.
Majority.
Mr. Speaker, so let's move on to item number 50.
Item number 50. Yes, Minority Chief.
Speaker, we are all trying to help to dispense of business, but just to draw the whip's attention. But there is a genuine observation. But even the report of the committee, there were only limited copies that were brought to the chamber. Only limited copies were brought. So when I inquired, we were told they've been uploaded on the system. Speaker, we know we have not fully moved on to the usage of the electronic system. So the provision of these hard copies come to complement this effort. So I want to plead. It is out of a genuine observation. Let's run more copies. At least, if for nothing at all, the members of the Finance Committee who have been involved in the consideration of these bills. It's important.
Honorable member, I will be surprised if a member of the Finance Committee doesn't have a copy of this bill, because I happen to be part of the meeting and at the committee's consideration of the bill. These bills were taken one after the other, and the honorable member on his feet, you ask vigorous questions based on the bill itself when the committee was doing a consideration of it. I happened to be there, so I've heard you loud and clear. Your useful questions were taken into account. So as a member of the committee, I'll be surprised that you don't have a copy of this.
Mr. Speaker, the intervention I made was to help you, because I, as a member, have copies, but there were some amendments proposed to some of the bills. So what I was holding may not be what we are discussing now, because when you meet at committee and amendments are being proposed, the new bill then is then presented. We've not been given copies after that meeting, and that's the point I'm drawing to your attention to. That after the discussion, we are not given copies.
No,
of the
honorable member, you are completely wrong. Proposed amendment of a committee to a bill would then be part of the committee's report, and it will be captured on the order paper. But in this case, there was no proposed amendment on part of the committee, so nothing was attached to the report. And if you look at the order paper for today, there was also no proposed amendment as advertised. For that reason, I open the floor for any member that will have a proposed amendment to a clause, and it is in the absence of any proposed amendment to a clause that I will then put the question. So I don't understand the point that you are making.
Because I'm not belaboring the electronic transaction levy. I'm not belaboring that.
But it is electronic transaction levy that is under consideration.
Mr. Chairman, but we have other bills that
But then you have to wait. But when those bills are being considered, then you can legitimately raise your points.
Okay.
So I think you are completely out of order.
I'm guided, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm guided. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, with your indulgence, if the Minister for Finance can take item 50, motion for the third reading of the bill.
Yes, Honorable Minister, motion number 50.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the Electronic Transfer Levy Repeal Bill 2025 be now read the third time. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, question numbered item 50 at page 12 of today's order paper, accordingly moved by the Minister responsible for Finance. Any seconder?
Yes, Speaker, I second the motion.
Honorable members, the motion is moved and seconded, and it is for the consideration of the House. Honorable members, Motion accordingly adopted. And the Electronic Transfer Levy Repeal Bill 2025 is read the third. Honourable members, the question is, those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The volume of the work is making me speed up. Honourable members, the ayes have it.
An act to repeal the Electronic Transfer Levy Act 2022, Act 1075, and the Electronic Transfer Levy Amendment Act 2022, Act 1089, and to provide for related matters.
Honourable members, the motion is adopted. The Electronic Transfer Levy Repeal Bill 2025 is now read the third time. Yes, Majority Leader.
We'll take the revenue. Oh, which item is it? Revenue is which item?
That's motion number 52.
52. Motion number 52.
Honourable members, second consideration of the Revenue Administration Amendment Bill 2025. Second reading. Yes, Honourable Minister for Finance.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the Revenue Administration Amendment Bill 2025 be now read the second time. Right Honourable Speaker, the object of the Revenue Administration Amendment Bill 2025 is to amend the Revenue Administration Act 2016, Act 915, to reduce the percentage of the total revenue that is set aside by the Minister responsible for finance in the Ghana Revenue Authority General Refund Account. Mr. Speaker, on the use of tax refund in the last 8 years reveals that 29.11 billion Ghana cedis has accrued to the account, with only 12.5 billion Ghana cedis, representing 43%, has been used for tax refund purposes. The Speaker, government therefore seeks to reduce the current ceiling on tax to the Ghana Revenue Authority General Refund Account by 2 percentage points, from 6% to 4%. Right Honourable Speaker, I so move.
Honourable members, motion.
Right, Honourable Speaker, I second the motion.
Honourable Ranking, because it's the chairman of the committee that will be presenting the report as second reading, it is the chairman who should read the report, and this motion being a motion for second reading is not seconded. So I will call on the chairman of the Finance Committee to present the committee's report.
Mr. Speaker, as the Finance Minister has indicated, the main objective of this bill is to reduce the amount set aside and accruing to the General Refund Account at the Ghana Revenue Authority for purposes of refunding general taxes that are qualified to be refunded. Mr. Speaker, the Finance Minister indicated to the committee that over the years, he's realized that even though we have been accruing 6% or up to 6% in the General Refund Account, the amount that have been disbursed over the years show that we really don't need all that amount of money. And he wants part of that money to be available to be disbursed for other government activities. He indicated that for the last couple of years, there is a total of 28 billion that has accrued to the account, and only 12 billion have been spent so far. under the circumstances, he wants to reduce the ceiling from up to 6% to from up to 4%. This will make available a room of about 3.8 billion as a fiscal impact of this bill. Having considered the rationale behind this policy, the committee agreed that this bill should be recommended to the House for approval on a unanimous basis. Mr. Speaker, I so submit the committee's report and wish to plead that the entire report should be captured as though same was read to the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, the motion for second reading was moved and the committee's report has also been presented. It is for the consideration of the House under Standing Order 167. I will then open the floor for full debate. Yes, the ranking member, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we support this amendment, and that is why at committee we recommended this for consideration by the House by unanimous decision. What I'd like to correct, however, is an impression as if this is going to make savings for the government of about 3.8 billion Ghana cedis, as stated in paragraph 6.6 under fiscal impact analysis of the bill. The minister indicated to the committee, as captured by this report, that between 43 to 49% is usually spent. And according to the Revenue Administration Act, Section 63, subsection 3, what is not spent at the end of the calendar year should be moved to the consolidated fund. And so if based on that, the minister has reduced the percentage of what should constitute the tax refund from 6 to 4%, the 2%, which is resulting into what the minister calls savings, is already supposed to go to the consolidated fund. It's already part of government revenue. The only thing the minister has decided to do is to front load the utilization of the 3.8 billion. If he did not decide to front load it, it would have gone into the consolidated fund. And that is articulated very well in the Revenue Administration Act. And therefore, to suggest that this is a saving as a result of the new policy, and therefore suggesting that something great has happened, because of this policy, Mr. Speaker, I beg to differ. And I thank you for the opportunity to contribute to the discussion.
Yes, Honorable Deputy Finance Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I just listened to the immediate past Finance Minister, and I want to quickly respond by saying that, yes, he rightly said that the excess amount that is not utilized for tax refund purposes is to be refunded into the consolidated fund. The question is that over the last 8 years, was it ever done? Did you ever refund the excess amount into the consolidated fund? The answer is no. And it is because of this that the finance minister says that looking at the trend, we don't need so much into the tax refund account. And the most important point is that the excess amount bypasses appropriation. It is spent on things that are not appropriated by this House. And so the minister wants to be disciplined about expenditure and says that, look, let us put everything back into the consolidated fund so all of you here will get the opportunity to appropriate it That is the difference. So that is the amount that is now available for us to spend. And as they all said, look, Mr. Speaker, another important point that must be made is that some suggested that the law is clear, that it is up to 6%, a ceiling of 6%. So we don't necessarily have to transfer 6%. Administratively, we could have decided to do less. But the finance minister wants to be disciplined and resist the temptation of doing what is wrong. And that is why this is being brought here for all of us to set the ceiling at 4%, which is consistent with the amount that has been utilized over the years. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Ranking Member.
Thank you, right honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm questioning the statement that this is savings.
Honorable Member,
he's talking about something else.
Honorable Member, point of order does not allow you to question.
Well, Mr. Speaker, point of information. Because I was talking about the fact that it is not any savings. The law says that what is not spent should go to the consolidated fund. So that is part of government revenue already. What the minister is seeking to do is to front load the spending of the 3.8, but it is not savings, Mr. Speaker, unless they have a different definition of savings. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Finance Minister.